think that's one of the dope things about God and just being led by the Holy Spirit is that is exactly that. We don't know the full spectrum of it, but you know, the Spirit, you know, sometimes it's easy to get selfish and think, I mean, God's so personable. You think that the Spirit's only working in you, and you just think you got this dope relationship, which you do, but He has dope relationships with other people also. And then so, like He said, you know, the Holy Spirit and God is doing so much work in another people in another person's situation, and that when you come in and you be that, whatever you are to them, it's just complete. It just completes the puzzle. And yeah, God, I think, wants us to be comforted, not knowing. I know when I first started, evangelizing to people, like I wasn't comforted. I didn't know the end. I didn't know the end piece. I didn't know the ending result.
Yeah, that's tough. That was tough for me too.
So there's times I've been hard on myself because I'm like, oh, maybe they should have.
If I would have said this, they would get it.
I know, right?
Yeah. They didn't cry.
Yeah, and I started thinking like, me or any other Christians, me nor any other Christians I knew through one conversation, just got it right when we said it. But it started to work in us. But there are some times when
just like, get out of here, man.
There are sometimes where a person, like you said, they'll hear something. There's been times where we ran up on people and just doing something that we think is normal or average, and they just bust out crying.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing. Every time the person's cried, it's the first thing they always go back to is, God's been working on me, or God's been showing me this, God's been doing this. And it just kind of brings me satisfaction, because it's like, dang, God, I didn't even think what I said was all that dope.
Right.
It was something normal, simple, and it did so much.
That's so real, man. A lot of times you have somebody come at you like, remember that time you had said that, and you like,
no,
you love saying that.
Right.
Like that's crazy. Like Paul, and I think it was 1 Corinthians. He was like, I came to you in fear and trembling. This is Paul, man. And he was like, he was talking about the super apostles, the ones who spoke nice, dressed nice, looked good, whatever. But those people didn't have it.
Talking about the Waynes of the world.
Right. Shoot. But I'm like, those people didn't have the power that Paul had.
Yeah.
They didn't have the testimony that Paul had. But he was definitely one of a kind.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's not even a matter of what we say. It's like the authority that we speak.
Yeah.
That the authority that we speak with.
That's so crazy. You say a lot.
They say that in Acts. It's like, because of the way that they spoke and the boldness that they see upon Peter, and forgot who else he was with, they knew that they had to be from God.
It was you, Wayne?
It was Fred.
It was you?
Peter and Wayne Rich now.
Well.
Peter and John.
Fred Flintstone.
Great.
Peter and Fred.
But now, God was teaching me that too, like about when you speak, so if you release things in people's life. Yeah. Especially when it's something that God has told you to say. So when God leads you to speak something, and you speak it, there's a certain authority behind it that releases that in that person's life. Especially when you're prophesying over people. It's the fact of what you're speaking that it releases that in that person's life. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm starting to read. You might have to edit this.
What?
But Francis Chan, The Forgotten God, I'm starting that tonight. I had that book for like a year. I ain't read it yet. I read like the first 4.
Francis Chan is
it talks about the Holy Spirit. The whole book is about the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, well.
Dog, man.
Huh?
Dog.
Oh, he said dog.
I thought you said he's a dog.
Yeah.
No, he's an Asian.
Right.
But
you going to bed, Joss? All right, 7:30.
Yeah, you better sit down. We was just talking about women being in their place. They be out there, they be listening like, what? Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I know I gotta get back
That's
to
the way he talk to me because he loves me.
Don't make me come in and lay my hands on you.
It's the same threat. You be threatening me like that. I know you say
you know what? There would be some dude that try to rationalize that and make it okay by using the Bible.
Yeah,
might have said it.
Right.
I said it too. I'll lay my hands on you. Biblical.
Right. I hate when people saying stuff is biblical. that don't mean it was right in the
Okay.
Bible. You know,
Oh,
I in the
man.
Bible, so what? It wasn't like depicted as right in the Bible.
Oh,
Folks would kill me
man.
with that.
Oh, people
Oh, man.
kill me, man.
They had slaves in the Bible. Okay. Was it good?
Man.
God
They
punish
treated-
them.